All right, big geography test on India coming up? Don't panic. We're going to skip all the fluff and get right to the essential facts you absolutely need to pass. Is your geography final, like tomorrow? Yeah, I can feel the pressure from here. But seriously, don't worry. This is your high-speed, get-it-done cram session. We've got this. We're going to cover exactly what you need to know. No extra stuff, just the core information that will let you walk into that exam feeling totally confident. Think of this as your secret weapon. Okay, so here's our game plan. Super simple, we'll kick off with the basics, then we'll march from the huge northern mountains down through the plains, we'll hit the plateaus and coasts, check out the islands, and then bam! A super fast flashcard review of the key terms. Ready? Let's do it. All right, first up, India 101. These are the numbers and facts that teachers love to put as the first few questions on a test, so let's lock them in right now. Okay, burn these numbers into your brain. Total area, 3.28 million square kilometers. That makes India the 7th largest country in the world. And that coastline, over 7,500 kilometers long. These are easy points on the exam, folks. Don't miss them. And here's how that all looks on the map. You can see how India just juts right out into the Indian Ocean. And look at the neighbors. You got Pakistan over here to the northwest, and then China, Nepal, and Bangladesh up in the north and east. Just getting this mental picture is half the battle. Okay, next up, let's talk about the Northern Wall. And I mean it is a wall. We're talking about the Himalayas, this absolutely massive mountain range that basically acts as a giant natural barrier for the whole subcontinent. Now listen up. If there is one question that is almost guaranteed to be on your exam, it's this one. How did the Himalayas form? They love asking this, so let's nail it. It all comes down to tectonic plates. So picture this. Millions of years ago, the Indian plate was just cruising north until it slammed into the Eurasian plate. All the land that was in between, which used to be an ancient sea called the Tethys Sea, had nowhere to go. It just got squeezed, folded, and pushed way, way up. And that's how we got the Himalayas. It's literally a slow-motion continental car crash. And here's a key detail. The Himalayas aren't just one big wall. They're actually 3 parallel ranges, kind of like lanes on a highway. You've got the Himadri, the highest one, always covered in snow. Then in the middle, you have the Himachal, which is where all the famous, beautiful hill stations are. And finally, the southernmost foothills are the Shivaliks. Just remember, highest, middle, and lowest. Okay, so once we come down from the mountains, we hit the fertile heartland, the northern plains. And this place is packed with people and farms for one very, very important reason. And that reason is this term right here, alluvial soil. You have to know this. Basically, as the big rivers like the Ganga, Indus, and Brahmaputra flow down from the Himalayas, they carry all this superfine, nutrient-rich dirt and minerals. They deposit it all over the plains, creating this incredibly fertile land that's just perfect for farming. That's why so many people live there. All right, buckle up for a rapid-fire tour of pretty much the rest of the mainland. We're going to cover the huge southern plateau, the massive desert out west, and the super long coastlines. Let's just hit the highlights you need to know. First, let's just make sure we're clear on this word, peninsula. All it means is a piece of land with water on 3 sides. And if you look at a map of India, the whole southern part is a giant peninsula. It's dominated by this huge peninsular plateau. Pay attention to this slide, because this is a classic compare and contrast exam question. The edges of that plateau are 2 mountain ranges, the Ghats. The Western Ghats are taller, and they're one continuous chain. This is why they catch all the monsoon clouds and get tons of rain. The Eastern Ghats, on the other hand, are lower, and they're broken up into pieces, which is how the big rivers can flow through them on their way to the sea. Now let's head west, to the hot, dry Thar Desert. But right next to it, you've got this super important range called the Aravalli Hills. They are one of the oldest mountain ranges on the planet, and their main job, geographically speaking, is to act like a wall and stop the desert from spreading any further east into those fertile plains we just talked about. All right, let's leave the mainland and head out to sea. We're talking about India's 2 major island groups, and you need to know that they're in 2 different seas, and, crucially, they have totally different origins. And here we go again, another classic comparison question for your exam. Over in the Arabian Sea, you've got the Lakshadweep Islands. These are made of coral. Think beautiful atolls. Then, way over in the Bay of Bengal, you have the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and these are volcanic. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Lakshadweep equals coral, Andaman equals volcanic. That's a guaranteed point. And hey, here's a little bonus fact that might just impress your teacher. The Andaman and Nicobar chain is home to a place called Barren Island, and it's India's only active volcano. A cool little piece of trivia to have in your back pocket for the test. Okay, we are in the home stretch. To wrap this up, let's do a super quick, rapid-fire flashcard review of the most important vocabulary. Honestly, knowing these definitions cold is the key to getting full marks. First up, subcontinent. What is it? Well, it's not quite a full continent, but it's a huge chunk of land that's distinct from the rest of the continent. The Indian subcontinent, for example, is separated from the rest of Asia by that giant wall we talked about, the Himalayas. Next, delta. Super simple. When a river hits the ocean, it slows down and just drops all the sand and silt it's been carrying. This builds up into a triangular piece of land at the river's mouth. And the one formed by the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers is the biggest one in the entire world. And last one, plateau. The easiest way to think of it is like a huge, flat-topped table. It's a big area of flat land that's raised way up high, usually with steep sides. And as we saw, the Deccan Plateau is the main feature of southern India. And that is it. That's the cram session. We've hit the mountains, the plains, the plateau, the islands. You have the core knowledge you absolutely need. So just take a deep breath. Seriously, you've got this. Now go ace that final. Good luck.